Welcome to Vidata. We are going to discuss about awareness, why we need awareness. You may have heard about IQ, EQ, and we are doing lot of things with these abilities, with these cognitive abilities in our day-to-day work. What is basically IQ? IQ is some kind of intelligence, that cognitive ability we have. So some people may have linguistic intelligence, some are having logical mathematical intelligence, some others have specific intelligence about the space, and some people have bodily kinetic intelligence. That means some sport people like Ronaldo, Sanat Jayasuriya, they can take the goal, they can take the ball to a specific target with exact timing and all that. They are different kind of intelligence. Also in this IQ, so we have different kind of intelligence: linguistic, mathematical. I am explaining it with some psychological model developed by Howard Gardner. Music instrumental intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, intrapersonal, bodily kinetic intelligence. Likewise, we have different kind of intelligence. People have this. So when there is a demand from external world, they can provide some service with this intelligence, and it will help them to survive. So even though we know, or we don't know, we, we use this intelligence in our day-to-day life. The other thing is EQ. That means emotional intelligence. In human evolution, before 1995, a smart person was identified with the IQ abilities. But in 1995, the concept came about this emotional intelligence. So it says that you should have both IQ and EQ. That means you should also have some emotional intelligence to read the emotions of others, to act according to them. Likewise, you should have some emotional intelligence. This kind of quotients, we use it to engage with the external world. And later on, the concept of SQ came. What is this SQ? SQ is the spiritual quotient. That is, that you should have some sense about the spiritual realm, your inner system, about the universe. Otherwise, we will with these abilities, when we move forward with our life, we will have some expectations, but sometimes we can't meet it, we can't meet them as we wish. So we suffer with them. Likewise, people started to think about that. So that later in this model as well, they talked about something called existential intelligence. That means if someone to be a perfect person, then he should also have some sense about the human existence. That means the human mechanisms, the mechanisms of thought, mind, our inner system, karmic system. So if you can have a sense about that, not the facts, but normally we tend to collect the facts about these things. But in Buddhism, the Lord Buddha, maybe Jesus, they came and what did they say? They said that be aware of this inner system, what is happening within you. Realize that what really you are. So for that, if you are going in that path, that means you are developing some spiritual quotient. For that, so we are discussing why we need awareness. For that, to develop this spiritual quotient, what is the correct method? What are the tools we need? So if you need to have a spiritual sense, the sense about spiritual realm, then you need a separate intelligence. You need to awake a intelligence within you. That is called the inner intelligence, or we call it Buddha. So this Buddha or inner intelligence is already within you, but you are not aware of that. You don't know that. So first we need to have some faith. We call it Shraddha, that this thing is within us. So if you understand and start to believe it, then you can develop the skill to awake this inner intelligence. So that's why we normally tell that you should have some Shraddha within you. To awake that inner intelligence, again, the very first step that you need to take is cultivating the awareness. Cultivating the awareness, because when you cultivate this awareness ability, then you will start to have some clarity towards your inner system, and you have to create some middle ground with that insight. Then only this inner system will awaken. Similar to you are doing your external world activities, you can't awake this inner intelligence. It is inherently there within you, but it will only awake only after you have the middle ground within you and the right kind of awareness. To become an enlightened person, full perfect person, we need to have this aspect. Let's say if we take a volleyball or if we take a football, how many sides are there in the ball? How many sides? So normally some people will say there are infinite number of sides in the ball, but if you clearly see, there are only two sides. It's the outside and inside. In our world also, in the context of a human being, there are two sides: external world and the inner world. This external world activities we can manage with these cognitive abilities, but if you are not aware of, if you don't have some insight towards our inner system, then you are half blind. So to be fully awakened, to be a fully enlightened being, you need to have some perspective. You need to have some sense about your inner world. That's why the awareness and this inner intelligence of Buddha is very much critical if you are going to be an enlightened person or full perfect. If you want to become a perfect person in this life, this is very much essential. So there, the awareness plays a critical role. So it is the starting point. That's why we need to cultivate awareness in our life. Let's think that you have a vehicle. You can know about the vehicle with the manuals and everything, but will it be enough? If you know about the vehicle, but you can't ride the vehicle. If you are a person like that, if you are a person like that, then there is no use of having the vehicle. But let's say there are some other people, they have a vehicle and they can ride it, but they don't know about the vehicle. But there is a third person that he know about the vehicle, he know everything about the vehicle, he know about the mechanics of the vehicle, and he can ride the vehicle as well. If you consider this context, what is the most correct way? I think you all will agree that if you can know about the vehicle, if you are expert on the mechanics of the vehicle, and if you can ride the vehicle, then it is the very perfect thing to have. So likewise, in our system also, we have our body, we have our mind, we have our inner system. So in this whole system, if you can aware, if you can know the mechanics of our total system, and if we can use it as a tool for our life, anything, your body, your mind, your spiritual abilities, if you can use them as tools, then it is the very perfect thing to have in our life. We are talking about why we need awareness. So to understand the internal mechanics of our life, by observing it ourselves, not as studying a subject like medicine, philosophy, uh, psychology, but having a experience by ourselves and understand the mechanics and dharmata about our own system. Then you can, if you develop the awareness, it is the very first step to realize our system and have a perfect life, like riding the vehicle.